Hello again and welcome to another presentation of Brookline High School Sports on Brookline Access Television. As today, the Milton Wildcats take on the Brookline Warriors here at Downs Field in Brookline. It's girls lacrosse today. Alongside Brad Castnett, I am Nick Bovey. Now, Brad, you couldn't ask for a more perfect day for girls lacrosse.
Absolutely not. Beautiful day for a matchup today between two teams, both still looking for their first win in Bay State Conference play today. So two teams that have struggled, but one of them is going to come away with that first conference win today.
And beyond conference rivalries, this game today will have a little bit more significance than the rest. We'll get more into that as the game goes on. We'll be back right after this on BATV.
Hard today when he does get the ball, and he's going to take it for over the court, give me your point.
And we are just about set to start today's matchup between Brookline and Milton. Draw at midfield, ripped away and won by Brookline. Brookline wearing white tops with blue bottoms, while Milton is wearing their red and white uniforms today. Ball is passed out of bounds, but it will stay with Brookline on this possession. Actually, it will be Milton playing the ball up ahead, as it's the goalkeeper, Mackenzie Stanley, who threw it in. Now, quick whistle. As the ball traveled out of bounds, and now it looks like Brookline will reset play here. Tess Jewell with possession. She'll carry it behind the net before passing off to Addie Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe runs back and forth, now behind the net. She passes it off to Becca Robinson. Robinson out in front, passes over the stick of Alex Hibidieva. And Milton about to pick it up. Ball was loose on the ground, and possession will go over to the Wildcats. So 25-minute clocks, two halves in girls lacrosse. So actually Brookline beating possession. It's behind the net with Ann Cabot. Pass intended for Parker Peters. Ball is loose and on the ground.
A little dangerous play there for Mackenzie Stanley in goal as she picked off that pass but couldn't control it. The ball ended up flying out of her stick over to the side, but she's lucky it didn't fly out into the goal.
So now off the reset, it's Leah Warren up top to Nora Bayer. Ball was loose, and it will stay with Brookline at the top of the zone. No, actually, Milton will be taking it away now. Claire Mahoney with possession, and will get off the reset. Passes up ahead to Grace Driscoll, one of the senior captains for Milton, along with number 2, Olivia Phelan, number 3, Julie Rush, number 6, Erin Higgins, and then number 9, Grace Driscoll, 4 captains for Milton. Brookline carries it into the offensive end. Robinson gets around the defense, will run behind the net before passing off to Sutcliffe. Pass was going out front, but it was blocked out. And a 3-second violation on Milton. So Brookline will have a reset in the offensive zone. No score here at Downs Field. Addie Sutcliffe will pass it off to Leah Warren, so Warren will get the free possession here. Runs inside, takes a quick shot, and it's blocked away by the defense. Another whistle. Both teams will reset. Under 21 minutes to go in the first half. Still no score. And Milton will be taking it away as it's number 7, Courtney Ware, passing it out into midfield. Ball is loose on the ground before Jennifer Berry can pick it up. Berry running into the offensive end, going to take it herself. Going to get a shot off, and she will score as she goes from beyond midfield to bring it in and score the first goal of the game with 20 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the first.
And Brookline dominating possession through the first 5 minutes of the game, but first time Milton able to attack up the field. Berry going all the way and scoring.
She seemed to make it look pretty easy as she ran through the defense and got a pretty good angle shot from right out in front of the net. So it'll be Berry at midfield for the draw alongside Michelle Hillman. And the draw is won by Milton as it's Phelan taking it away. Phelan will run out front, bounce, and in. Just a few seconds after the last goal, Milton gets a quick strike, doubles up their lead. It's now 2-0.
And once again, Phelan winning the draw control and just headed straight to the net. We'll see if that's part of Milton's strategy today to take quick shots, but wasting no time, not setting up the offense or anything, just charging towards the goal and firing.
As we've seen with the girls lacrosse team, draw control can be a problem, and it can lead to quick rushes against their defense. So that should be a big early goal here. Just try and get draw controls, and if you can't, try and man up on defense and back everything up. His possession is still loose at midfield. Both teams were scrambling around for it, and it will be Milton that comes away with it after the official's whistle. So Phelan at midfield will carry it ahead. Gonna try and evade all the defense, takes a shot, and she scores on the far post. And now it is 3-0 with 19:49 to go in the first. Second goal by Phelan.
Phelan had a nice move there. I think she had the goalkeeper fooled before slipping it down the lower left corner of the goal, going far side.
So in just a matter of a few seconds, this game has gotten away from Brookline, but lacrosse is a quick game, so they can get back into it. They call a timeout with 19:49 to go in the first. We'll take a quick break here. Be back on BATV. And we're ready to resume things at Downs Field. 3-0 is the score for Milton after scoring 3 goals in a matter of 30 seconds off of some draw controls. At 3 consecutive draw controls. Now Brookline will look to get back into things after that timeout. And they do control the draw at midfield as it's Alice Gilbert that comes away with it. She runs through midfield right in front of the scoreboard. Before losing it on the ground, she picks up her own ground ball. Will streak back to the far side. Passes one intended for Deidre McPhee. It goes out of bounds. So Milton will get the ball now. Madison Feeney will run it in. Only 2 men to beat in front of her.
We'll see if she goes straight to goal again.
But there's a save made by number 18, Rebecca Zagorski, as that one came right in on her, and she just got a stick on it. And now carrying it through midfield is Hannah Friedman-Bell. That was actually Ann Cabot. She loses it on the ground. And now Milton comes back the other way with Brooke Brundage. It's passed up ahead to Morgan Begley. Now Begley passes one over to Margaret Dean. She picks it up off the ground. With no defense surrounding her, she'll step up, passes off to Barry. Barry will slow things down.
So this is the first time we've actually seen Milton set up an offense.
And Barry took a shot that was blocked by the defense, and Zagorski will pick it up. So even though that was an established offensive possession, they still took a quick shot after only a couple of passes. As now it's Hannah Friedman-Bell bringing it through midfield.
It does look like the Warrior defense has been a little bit more focused since that timeout.
As they made 2 saves, with Zagorski getting both of them, her first 2 saves of the game, with under 18 minutes.
And we talk about in lacrosse, any save is a big save. You know, a good save percentage is only about 50%. So any save is a big play.
Now it's Ann Cabot. Brookline's going to look to get on the board first for their first goal. They haven't really challenged Mackenzie Stanley, Milton's goaltender. And it sounds like we're getting another 3-second violation call. So it'll be Alice Abitieva who will get the free possession. Will run in, take a shot, and a save made right off the stick of Stanley. Ball is still loose at the top and is taken away by Leah Warren. Warren takes a shot up high and another save made, and then a whistle right after the save by Stanley. So we'll get another free position. Warren will reset. From the top of the arc, she'll run in and tries to take a bounce shot, but it bounces well wide. The rebound attempt sails out of bounds behind the net. So Abby Hrenowitz will, or excuse me, that's Addie Sutcliffe will play the ball. She passes over to Ann Cabot. Cabot feigns a pass. Now we'll get it off to Hannah Friedman-Bell. Shot in on net. On the ground, but picked up by Milton. Good attempt there by Friedman-Bell to take the weak angle shot, catch Stanley off guard, and hope for a rebound. But there were just too many Wildcats around that. As Julie Rush resumes play, passes it off to Claire Mahoney. Now Mahoney will run up through the defense, get right in on the fan before running out, and we'll get another official's whistle. Now Mahoney will run to the top of the zone. She'll get a free position from the top of the fan, but she moved too quickly. I believe the officials didn't call the play set before she took the shot. Oh, now it's the official's fault. She actually did get it onside.
I think the official thought there was an offsides somewhere else on the field.
So a second shot, and that one is saved. So that call actually went towards Brookline because the shot was originally a goal by Mahoney. But on that one, Zagorski makes the save. So the official's whistle works out for the Warriors, as now they try and get possession out of the defensive end. It was picked up off the ground by Deidre McPhee. After the whistle, she'll bring it through midfield. Passes up to Sutcliffe, who will run into the offensive third. Now whistle right as she ran in. The call goes against Courtney Ware. It'll be Sutcliffe running in now. Runs back behind the net. And passes off to Parker Peters. Now to Alice Abitieva. This is Nora Bayer. Abitieva passes off to Bayer, who picks it up off the ground. Ball is loose, and Bayer picks it back up, passes off to Abitieva, and loses it on the ground again. 13 minutes to go exactly in the first, and a whistle as she tried to enter the fan. And the foul will go against Elizabeth O'Connor. So it looks like Abitieva will get a free position. She'll run in, gets around the fence, behind the net now. Passes off to Addie Sutcliffe. Now up top to Bayer. And over to Hannah Friedman Bell. She stops and loses the possession as it came out of her pocket, and Jennifer Berry will pick it up. She runs along the far out of bounds line with 12 minutes to go in the first half. Whistle will stop possession there. Brookline was a little too eager to get the ball back. So Berry will reset and chuck it off to Ware. Carries it through midfield. Down to the offensive third. She's going to take it herself. Bounces. And I believe that Zagorski got a piece of it as it's tipped behind the net. So now Madison Feeney has possession. We'll slow it down before passing off. Ware back to Feeney. Feeney up ahead to Phelan. And there's a whistle. And Brookline's going to get possession after the whistle. As Abitieva passes ahead. This is Cabot. Now up to Nora Bayer. Just a couple bodies to beat. She passes off, and a whistle right before Allie Alspa gets it in the net. So she's going to get a free position even after scoring that goal. So we'll see if she can do it again. Alspa runs in, takes a shot, and it's blocked back out. Abitieva got a piece of it. Looked like she was going to pick up possession. And the call is going to go against Milton. So Abitieva will reset now. 10 minutes exactly to go in the first. 3-0 the score for Milton. Actually, it will be Milton that plays it. Mahoney brings it out through center. Now to the offensive end. Looks for a few shots before deciding to run behind the net. Mahoney passes off to Dean. And now it is up top, the top of the zone, as Berry went back and forth before getting stick checked. So now Berry will get a free possession. And off the whistle. Shoots, and she scores up top. She scores off the free position right outside of the fan. So with 8:53 to go in the first, it is now 4-0 for Milton.
First free position goal we've seen today for the Wildcats. Interesting, all three of those first goals were in transition, either right off a turnover or right off a draw control. Since then, and after scoring those three quick goals, Brookline called a timeout. Since then, the defense had looked pretty strong, hadn't allowed anything else in, but not able to stop that pre-position shot there by Barry.
So that's Barry's second goal of the game. Her and Phelan have been the offense for this game so far, as each have 2 goals. So 8:53 to go in the first. We'll get a draw at midfield.
The Wildcats, though, still haven't scored a goal from just this kind of standard run of play setting up the offense. It's been the 3 kind of breakaways and then 1 on the free position.
So they've been really trying to take advantage of a slower Brookline defense. Meanwhile, Brookline has been a little bit more methodical, and they haven't been able to cash in on their free positions. They've been getting much more than Milton has. Ball was loose, entering the offensive end, and now it's picked up by Brookline. Ball is loose out in front. A second shot by Robinson is blocked away. As Hannah Friedman-Bell brought the ball in, but lost it as she entered the fan.
What a great point-blank save by Mackenzie Stanley on the Brookline player that recovered and took that shot. Didn't even see who it was, but Stanley getting over there for the point-blank save.
Elizabeth O'Connor having some trouble. Passes back to Julie Rush. Now Rush will pass up ahead for Courtney Ware. With a name like Julie Rush, you'd think she would be in attack, but no, she's back on defense. So now Driscoll will run it down for Milton. She picks it up. Now passes off to Phelan. And now Phelan runs through, tries to bounce it in, and a save made by Zagorski. Zagorski had it in her stick before she was stick checked by Phelan. The official will call that. Zagorski had control in net. So as we alluded to earlier, today is a slightly special day here at Downs Field. As you've noticed so far, for Brookline, they're wearing pink in addition to their regular white and blue home uniforms. And Brad, that's because of a special reason for today's game.
The Warriors have been raising money back at Brookline High School for the American Cancer Society through the Coaches versus Cancer program. And today is kind of in recognition of that.
Begley takes a shot wide, and save made by Zagorski.
You can see all the Warriors with pink socks, pink ribbons in their hair, and talked to Coach Carrie Gross before the game. They're still the fundraiser is still ongoing, so they don't have a final total of how much money they are going to donate to the American Cancer Society, but they're hoping it'll be a few $100s. They've been doing this for a few years now, and an annual event now for the Warriors, raising money for cancer.
So an absolutely great cause for this team to take up, and a great way of executing it as well. And you couldn't have asked for a better day, because a few days ago it seemed like this was going to be a slightly overcast and rainy day, but no. It's in the 80s, it's perfectly sunny, and probably the best weather I've ever seen here at Downs Field.
Yeah, it turned out to be a perfect day, and it's going to be even better for whichever team comes away from here with their first conference win of the season.
The shot came in from Ann Cabot, but the save was made by Stanley. Ball is still loose out in front. Shot and a goal. It's Abby Hrinowitz who picks it up off the rebound and scores the first goal for the Brookline Warriors with 5:30 to go in the first.
Mackenzie Stanley in net there for Milton made a couple of great saves, but the rebounds coming back to the Warriors, and finally Hrinowitz able to put it away and get the Warriors on the board.
Hrinowitz is one of the more notable players on Brookline's girls hockey team. Hasn't really been a factor so far in today's game, but she shows her impact there, scoring the first goal for Brookline. So with 5:30 to go in the first, Milton calls a timeout. We'll take a quick break. It's 4-1 for Milton here on BA TV. So 5:30 to go in the first half. Brookline just getting on the board thanks to the goal by Abby Hrinowitz. And now we'll get a draw control here. And for Milton, that was a pretty smart timeout, as that was the first good possession by Brookline, their first goal. And you kind of want to thwart any kind of momentum that Brookline could have gotten off of that.
Yeah, first goal of the game for the Warriors, and the Wildcats immediately trying to slow down the momentum, take a break, and get themselves back in order.
And you can see the effect there as Brookline wins the draw control at midfield. Michelle Hillman, who won it, passes it off to Cabot. Now Cabot will streak into the offensive end, but she was hit up high by number 5, Claire Mahoney. So the official's whistle will stop play. And it will be Cabot that resets. She'll run back in around the defense, enters the fan, gets a foul as the stick hit her up on top of the head.
Nice move by Cabot there to split the defense, and she'll get a free position out of it.
So a prime opportunity to cut the deficit to 2. Officials whistle. Cabot takes a shot and scores down low, as it looked like Mackenzie Stanley was going to make the save off the low shot, but it gets past her ankles, and it's 4-2 now for Milton with 4:23 to go.
Nice move on the free position shot. Finally, the Warriors able to cash in on one of those free position opportunities.
And now Brookline will look to imitate what Milton did when they scored 3 goals right in a row, thanks to 3 consecutive draw controls.
Yeah, the draw control is so crucial because you can't score unless you have the ball, and at this draw control, it's up for grabs.
So it looked like number 11, Margaret Dean, was going to get that one, but it falls out of her pocket, and it'll be brought ahead by Nora Bayer. Whistle blown. A little bit too aggressive on the chase was Grace Driscoll. So Bayer passes ahead to Robinson. Now Robinson will look for an open position out in front. Instead, we'll take it up front now. Backs up off the defense and draws the whistle. And it looks like we're going to get a card here. And a foul looks like it's going to be against Brooke Brundage. So now prime opportunity for Brookline as they're going to go a man up with 3:40 to go in the first. So Robinson will get the free position. So there's the whistle. There's the shot. And it's blocked wide. Parker Peters closest to possession. So now they can't score off the free position, but now Brookline will see if they can take advantage on being a man up. A pass over to Hannah Friedman-Bell up top, intended for Bayer. Picked up off the rebound, and a goal scored by Ann Cabot. She picks up the loose ball, and Brookline cuts it to 1 with 3:12 to go in the first.
Nice job there by Cabot. The ball was loose. Either team could have gotten it, but not only does Cabot pick it up to maintain possession for the Warriors, but immediately scores to get the Warriors back within 1 goal.
And Cabot's second of the game. This one on the man-up situation. So now if you're Milton, got to be wondering if you took that timeout a little bit too soon, because it hasn't seemed to have slowed Brookline down. And off the draw, the ball is picked up by Tia Marathas. She meets a couple of defenders, takes an odd shot that bounces wide, but going over to pick it up is Mahoney.
Well, it seems like a good thought there from Marathas, as that's where the Wildcats have had their success scoring today. Quick opportunities right off a turnover or draw control, but just putting the shot wide.
Oh, Mahoney still with possession. Runs up to the top of the offensive zone before drawing the whistle. 2:30 and counting left in the first. It's a one-goal game, and if you're Brookline, you want this ball back as soon as possible to try and knot this up before halftime.
Yeah, momentum on the Warriors side. So a turnover here would be huge for Brookline.
So it's Mahoney being double covered, gets around both of the defenders, steps out in front, and a whistle before she shot it up high. I don't know what the whistle could be because she had both of her defenders behind her. They weren't close enough to even make contact with the shot.
May have been something off the ball.
Well, Mahoney will get the free position.
It's Hillman that gets sent back.
So I've always wondered this in women's lacrosse. If it's running clock, kind of like soccer, why isn't there extra time added onto the clock? Because if you're Milton, you take a long attempt there as Mahoney scores the goal. You take your time going over to pick up the ball, pass it in. Don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. You see the same thing in soccer at this level and at the collegiate level, that the clock keeps running, but yet at the end of the period they count it down, and when the whistle blows, and that's it.
Well, for Brookline, it ends up hurting them. After Mahoney scores her first goal of the game, second free position goal for Milton. It's now 5-3 with 1:28 to go in the first half. But the Warriors are going to have to put that behind them and try and get this draw control here. As it's on the ground, now popped up in the air, and Mahoney's going to come away with it. She passes off to Marathis. Will slow things down as she had a chance to run in unabated. But now she opts for the safer play. They're going to slow things down with 1 minute to go in the first. As Barry runs through the defenders, takes a backhand shot. Isn't able to get it off cleanly, though, and Brookline will come away with it as Habidieva picks it up off the ground and the whistle blows.
Great save by Zagorski there, right? Again, point-blank range. Getting her big goalie stick right in the way of that shot.
So Brookline's going to have to try and get it from one coast to the other as quickly as possible. Habidieva carries it over the midfield line. 45 seconds to go in the first. And a whistle right as she entered the offensive end. So the clock does stop under a minute with 42 seconds left. Mahoney gets called and will have to get behind Habidieva, who now has a chance to bring it coast to coast. It looked actually like Mahoney took a jump there before the whistle, but it doesn't matter as Habidieva isn't able to get a clean shot. And now Milton carries it back the other way as it's Courtney Ware bringing it through midfield. Under 30 seconds to go. She passes backwards for Barry, picks it up cleanly, but loses possession. Now picked up off the ground by Margaret Dean. She'll slow it down with 15 seconds to go. Over the head of Marathis, and now picked up by Mahoney. Now over Marathis' stick. It's picked up off the ground by Deidre McPhee. And the whistle is blown with 1 second left, and that should pretty much do it here for the first half, sparing a miraculous long-distance shot. So there's the whistle, and that is the end there. A few seconds after the clock hits 0, the whistle finally blows. So that'll do it for the first half here. And Brad, that was, all things considered, a very good half for Brookline.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start for the Warriors, but right after that they turned it around and able to get back within 1 goal before Milton added another to make it a 2-goal lead at the break.
So we'll see on the other side of this break if Brookline can jump back out, as they've been able to score quickly and score in spurts. We'll see if they can get that momentum early on in the second half. We'll take a quick break here and be back with more action from Downs Field on the other side of this 7 minutes. You're watching BATV.
Back at Downs Field, second half getting underway. Draw is won by Alice Kabitieva of the Warriors. The Wildcats of Milton leading the Warriors of Brookline 5-3. Milton getting a pair of goals each from Olivia Phelan and Jennifer Berry, while the Warriors led by 2 goals from Ann Cabot. So Brookline wearing white, moving left to right this half as Nora Bayer restarts. Bayer passes over for Abby Renowitz. Ball is on the ground though, and it is picked up by Claire Mahoney for Milton. And now the Wildcats on the run. An errant pass, trying to reel it in, is Morgan Begley, and she will pick it back up. Begley, a shot, save made by Becca Zagorski.
Begley seemed to take that shot a little bit too quickly. If she had held on to it for an extra second and gotten to the far side of the post, she would have had a much better angle on that shot.
Loose ball at midfield, and Courtney Ware picks up the ground ball. So another possession here for the Wildcats. Ball's on the ground at midfield, but controlled again by Milton as Madison Feeney comes up with that one. Feeney moving in towards goal, although runs into the Warriors' defense, has to peel back, finally a whistle. Wildcats rather, Milton will maintain possession, and Feeney will restart. Feeney, her shot is stick checked as she tries to release it. Zagorski comes up with it, but now there's a whistle, and the Warriors will get possession.
It was very interesting off the free position that shot was blocked by the defense, because usually you get that free shot without any trouble and nobody in your way. But great job by Brookline eliminating that opportunity.
Bayer's stick checked as she comes across midfield, but a whistle will allow Bayer to restart. So the Warriors trying to get back within 1 goal. Turnover here. Brooke Brundage comes up with it for the Wildcats. Milton started this game with a 3-0 lead, a 4-0 lead actually, Milton had. But then 3 unanswered goals by Brookline got them back within 1 before a late goal before halftime gave Milton this 5-3 lead.
And here comes a fantastic opportunity for Michelle Hillman, as she's going to get the free position inside of the arc.
We wait for the whistle. Hillman, the shot, blocked in front by the defense. It looked like Jennifer Berry caught that one off the leg or something, as she was kind of walking gingerly after that, but took one for the team as that kept the ball out of the net.
And Abby Renowitz tried to knock in a rebound, but she wasn't able to get clean shot off.
Wildcats coming back the other way. The shot by Elizabeth O'Connor is saved by Zagorski. Milton still with possession. Mahoney now headed in towards goal. Mahoney is dispossessed by Hannah Friedman-Bell. Had the stick in there and wouldn't allow Mahoney to get off a shot.
Fantastic job by Friedman-Bell of actually holding the stick back, so the shot wasn't even attempted.
And the Warriors come away with it. It's Ann Cabot who goes to the ground as the whistle blows. She'll start again with possession. Looks like it'll be outside the free position area, but still not far to the goal for Cabot, who's the Warriors' leading scorer with 2 goals today. Cabot on the restart, takes a shot, and a goal. Third goal of the game for Ann Cabot, and it gets the Warriors back within one, 5-4. Now the score with Milton leading with 19:54 to go in the second half.
And Cabot took the opposite approach that Hillman did on the previous free position. Instead of just winding and firing from where she was, she took a few steps up, tried to get around her defense and get herself a much closer shot, a more accurate shot, and it worked there. Great job by Cabot.
Hillman will go against Berry on the draw control here. Draw is up. Still on the ground and controlled by the Wildcats. Margaret Dean controls that draw, headed straight to goal. A shot and a goal from Margaret Dean, her first of the game, and quickly the 2-goal lead is restored for Milton. The Wildcats lead at 6-4 with 19:40 remaining.
And for Brookline, that's got to be painful because you're looking right on the doorstep of tying this game up, and especially with the chance at midfield as Deirdre McPhee almost picked it up, but the ball just bounced away from her, and it led to a direct opportunity as Dean picked it up and took it all the way in.
So Dean comes up big, answering for the Wildcats, and once again, we see the Milton team scoring quickly right off the draw control, just taking it straight to the goal. Another draw control won by Milton. Ware with this one. In towards goal. Ware, a shot, and a goal. Looked like Sikorsky may have gotten a piece of it on the way in, but ends up in the back of the net. And a goal for Courtney Ware. And just like that, it's 7-4 Milton. 19:29 on the clock. Just 11 seconds come off between goals there.
This is what we saw pretty much around this time back in the first half, all based off these draw controls. But that one was a little more fluky than any of the other goals that Milton has scored so far, as that one was from a weird angle, and it did look like Sikorsky made the save and a whistle was going to be blown, but instead it ended up creeping into the back of the net.
Mahoney controls this draw for the Wildcats. We'll see if she takes a quick shot. She does, but it's wide. Looks like the Wildcats back it up, and Milton will maintain possession.
I don't blame Mahoney for taking that shot. She actually got in pretty quickly, and if she had lowered that about 6 inches, she would have banged it off the crossbar.
It's actually Brookline's possession there. But now out of bounds, it'll go back to Milton. That's where the Wildcats have done most of their damage, is in transition, either off the draw control or off of a turnover, as opposed to setting up the offense and finding a shot that way. So Milton working behind the net. Feeney passes. Now back over to Mahoney behind the net. And here's Begley on the near side. Back behind to Mahoney, coming around in front. Shot goes wide. Low angle shot. Recovered by Milton, and a goal for Jennifer Berry. Third goal of the game for Berry as she came in from the side, picked up the rebound, and scored. And the Wildcats now double up their lead on the Warriors. It's 8-4 with 18:07 to go. And Coach Carrie Gross is going to take a timeout for the Warriors.
Pretty smart move there. I mean, another fluky goal, but Milton seems to score their goals in threes and fours. Just get them in as quickly as possible and see whatever happens down low, and that's exactly what happened there.
18:07 to go in the second half. We'll be back to the action after this. This is Brookline Warriors Lacrosse on BATV. Back at Downs Field, Milton leads Brookline 8-4 with 18:07 to go in the second half.
And interestingly enough, I noticed that Milton took a very quick timeout there. They didn't really go over much. Just keep doing what you're doing while Brookline stuck in a little bit longer. They have quite a bit more to work out here.
Milton awarded the draw there on a violation by the Warriors. And headed straight to goal is Berry, who takes a shot that's saved by Zagorski. Ball's loose on the ground in front of the goal. Finally, Berry comes up with it. Had a chance to pick it up and maybe take a shot in front of the goal, but couldn't control it. But still Milton possession.
There were 5 Warriors bodies around that, including the goaltender Zagorski, but Berry was the one who actually got around everybody and picked that back up. If you're Brookline, you need to be stauncher on defense and try and push balls away from the net. Don't try and worry about picking it up. Just whack it away.
So Olivia Phelan now moving in towards goal. Dispossessed, but a whistle. Looks like Milton's going to keep possession. Maybe a free position here for Phelan, and it looks like it will be. So free position shot here for the Wildcats. Phelan shoots and scores. Goal for Olivia Phelan, her 3rd of the game. And the Wildcats lead it 9-4 with 16:49 on the clock.
So Phelan joins Berry at the top of the scoreboard with her 3rd of the game so far. But if you could give an assist on that one, you would pretty much give it to Berry for keeping that possession alive all the way until the foul was called and then the free position given.
So a 5-goal lead now for the Wildcats, their largest of the game. Both these teams looking for their first Bay State Conference win of the season. That's another draw is controlled by the Wildcats, and here they come again. A whistle just prior to that shot by Madison Feeney as Becca Zagorski made the save, but it looks like the Wildcats are going to get a free position out of this.
As a 3-on-0 for Milton, but the save was made by Zagorski. Now she'll have to do it again.
Feeney, a shot, and another save by Zagorski. Recovered by the Wildcats, a whistle. And it's still going to be Milton ball. Feeney will restart.
Brookline needs to play smart defense. Right now they're just playing tough defense, and they're getting a lot of calls against them as here comes another one. They just need to be smarter about when they come in and attack.
So another restart for Feeney. Feeney moves down low, passes back. Jennifer Berry has it. Moves around front. Now passes outside to Claire Mahoney. Cutting across and shooting and scoring is Jennifer Berry. 4th goal of the game for Berry. That's now 5 unanswered goals for the Wildcats, and it is 10-4 with 15:08 to go in the second half.
So through about 10 minutes of play here in the second half, Milton has been outscoring Brookline 5-1. For Brookline, that timeout that they used back in the first half was very effective as it kind of turned things around for them. But in the second half, it really hasn't worked as they continue to keep giving up goals. They just need to worry about, first things first, get the draw control and then work from there, because as we've seen, when they have possession, they can score.
As evenly matched as this game was in the first half, it has been just about all Wildcats in the second. Has now a 6-goal lead for Milton. There's a draw control won by the Warriors as Michelle Hillman comes down with it. Although an errant pass ends up in the stick of Mackenzie Stanley, who gets it right back for Milton.
If Ellie Alspa was about a foot taller, she could have gotten that, but unfortunately the throw is quite a bit too high.
Milton's looking for its first win of the season of any kind. They come in today's game 0-10 with an 0-8 conference record, while the Warriors are 1-10-1 overall. No wins, 8 losses, 1 tie in Bay State conference play. But Milton trying to get that first W on the board here at Downs Field. Feeney on the outside of the fan, now moving in towards goal. A shot and scores. Feeney working through the defense, able to get a shot off, and Madison Feeney scores her first goal of the game, and it puts the Milton Wildcats up 11 goals to 4. 14:04 now on the clock.
Zagorski actually had her stick there at the right angle, at the right position, but for some reason she wasn't able to handle it. It bounced in underneath her, and can't blame Zagorski too much for that. She did pretty much all she could.
Yeah, the Warriors' defense was in there pretty tight on Feeney too, but credit Madison Feeney for pushing through that defense and getting the shot into the back of the net. Another draw control won by Milton. Margaret Dean comes up with this one. Passes back to Barry. Now Barry looks to set something up. Flips it over to Phelan. Phelan moving in towards goal and scores. Fourth goal of the game for Olivia Phelan. And the Milton Wildcats really hitting their stride on offense. It's now 12-4 with 13:35 to go in this second half.
So it's pretty much a goal battle between Barry and Phelan, who can score the most in the game. Both are at 4 goals apiece. Mahoney, Ware, Feeney, and Dean all have contributed 1 goal. And the magic number here is 2 more goals. If Milton scores 2 more, then we get a running clock no matter what. So for Brookline, they just need to keep it away from that point, and then they can have a chance to get something started.
Still 13:35 to go in the second half. Hillman in for the draw against Barry. Still a loose ball and finally picked up by Deirdre McPhee, who wins that draw control. Ball's on the ground and ground ball scooped up by Grace Gardner, earning the possession for Milton. Errant pass gets out of bounds, and that should be Warriors ball.
Right after that errant pass by McPhee, the wind picked up really strongly, so can't blame the wind on that one, although it seemed like it as that pass went well wide.
An errant pass right off the restart, and possession will go back to Milton. Gardner gets it started, sends it in towards the fan, and another turnover. Ground ball there by Lucy Friedman-Bell for the Warriors, and Brookline brings it across midfield. Ball loose again. Hannah Friedman-Bell trying to pick it back up for Brookline, and there's a whistle. We'll see which way this ball goes.
The wind has really picked up now, right? As Brookline has its first possession, they're going to be shooting into the wind, and hopefully it doesn't affect them.
Ellie Aspaw on the restart. Her stick was checked as she got that pass off, and it ends up with the Wildcats. It's coming back across midfield is Courtney Ware. It's been an absolutely gorgeous day, although a bit breezy from time to time as the wind's been picking up now, but temperatures in the high 70s. As Phelan now moving in towards the fans, shoots and scores. 5th goal of the game for Olivia Phelan. And with 11:43 to go in the second half, Milton now leads Brookline 13-4.
Well, with the wind to their backs, Milton isn't too affected by the slight weather change, but they've just been keeping things going. pretty much passing it through the same avenues. It's either Phelan or Barry taking a shot, and they've been very accurate. While on Brookline's side, they've been trying to push it down into the offensive end, and they finally had it down there for the first time since their goal, but they weren't able to keep it there long enough. It seems like their passing has gone way off.
5 goals for Phelan, 4 for Barry. The two seniors on this Wildcats team that have really been running the offense today. As Grace Driscoll start this play behind the net. Out of goal line extended on the near side, and then sends it up for Kaylee Allen. Now over to Morgan Begley. Passes back to Tia Marathis. Brooke Brundage, or no, correction, that's Margaret Dean, number 11, who passes it off to Julie Rush. Looks like the Wildcats have made some personnel changes on this trip up the field with a 9-goal lead. Moving out in front, shooting, and a save by Zagorski on the shot from Mahoney. Milton backs it up, so the Wildcats will maintain possession.
Mahoney had the angle, and she had to step on the defense, but she wasn't able to quite get a good shot off in transition.
Rush moving in, takes a contested shot that's saved by Zagorski. And Zagorski holds on, and the Warriors will try to clear. Zagorski passes to Hillman. Up forward, ball's on the ground, out of bounds, and it'll go back to Milton. So Brookline unable to clear, and the Wildcats will take back over on their offensive half of the field.
That pass was intended for Elise Rivera, but it didn't seem like she got a good eye on it, as that one bounced clear over her stick. Maybe some hair got into her face mask as she was adjusting that right afterwards.
Ball on the ground here and a whistle before possession is gained. The Warriors will get possession. Nora Bayer will start things up for Brookline. Bayer spins back just shy of midfield. And now Lucy Friedman-Bell will take it across midfield. A whistle here, but still Warriors ball. Lucy Friedman-Bell will restart. As we're under 9 minutes to go. Milton still with a 9-goal lead. Becca Robinson passes over to Addie Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe behind the net. A whistle.
This is already good for Brookline. This is their first sustained pressure in the offensive third since their 4th goal.
So Leah Warren will take a free position here. A shot misses wide. Still in bounds, and Milton will come up with it.
It's a nice shot, but a stick got on it right as she took it, so it was contested and sailed wide of the near post.
Barry gets the ground ball and then passes on to Gardner. Wildcats trying to clear. Allen has it, passes over the midfield line to Feeney. Feeney on the run. Moving in towards goal. The shot saved by Zagorski. Ball is loose. Feeney picks it back up. Back behind the net for Rush. Rush waits for the Wildcats to set something up. Plays catch with Feeney. Now coming forward, there's a whistle. See what the call is here. It must have been something off the ball. And it'll be a turnover. So Zagorski We'll get to restart for the Warriors. Zagorski's pass back for Abby Hrenowitz is whistled dead, and Hrenowitz will restart. Hrenowitz with a goal today for the Warriors, a freshman, getting on the score sheet. Hannah Friedman-Bell across midfield to Robinson. Ball comes loose and a whistle. It'll be Milton ball. Errant pass on the ground. Begley trying to save it for Milton, but two Warriors in there. Now help comes in the form of Marathas, who picks that one up and heads towards goal. Marathas shoots wide. Backing it up is Milton. Rush was there, and she will restart for the Wildcats.
Elise Rivera had another opportunity to pick up a ground ball but wasn't able to, and she's still adjusting her mask on there. I'm wondering if she's having some sight problems or if that mask isn't well adjusted.
Zagorski picks that pass off, causing the turnover, and Warriors looking to clear. Pass there ends up on the ground, but McPhee picks it back up for Brookline and sends it up forwards, goes out of bounds, and it'll be Wildcats ball.
That was a nice, hard, athletic pass by Deidre McPhee, but it was just a little bit too hard as there were two bodies contesting for it with Leah Warren and Jennifer Berry, but Warren was the last one to touch it before it got out of bounds.
Mahoney now moving across the front of the goal, holds on to it. As we're under 5 minutes to play. Still a 9-goal lead for the Wildcats. Pass is on the ground, but Milton there to pick it back up. It's Allen that gets it for the Wildcats. Now Begley moving into the fan. A shot goes wide, a contested shot. A Warrior defender may have gotten a piece of it on the way out, but Milton backs it up, and Rush will restart behind the net. Pass forward to Marathas. Marathas has to work around the defense. Takes a bad shot that's saved by Zagorski. And we get a whistle. It'll be Brookline possession. Zagorski will get the ball to start the clear.
And Wilton can't seem to get that magical 10-goal lead, that nice round number. Running clock will still stop after any goals with under 4 minutes to go.
The Wildcats will certainly be happy to come away with a win here today, their first of the season.
They've looked very good. I'm surprised that this would be their first win.
Warren moving in on goal, but the defense collapses around her and ball ends up on the ground. Finally, Ware comes up with it for the Wildcats, and she'll try to bring it back the other way. Pass back to Berry. Berry all the way from behind midfield, and now a pass intended for Rush, but gets by her. Brundage after it, and this is going to be Brookline's ball. This called not a shot, that was a pass, so the Warriors come up with it. McPhee trying to clear. Pass forward ends up on the ground, and a ground ball for Marathas gets it back for Milton. Pass comes back to Dean. 2.5 minutes to go. And now Berry will try to set something up. She passes in for Rush, whose shot goes just wide. Warriors there to back it up. It's Zagorski who came out behind the net and was closest to it when it went out of bounds. There's a whistle here as Hillman down on the turf in front of the goal. But she's now back on her feet and ready to resume play. Zagorski will start it off from the baseline, and she passes up to Elise Rivera, now on to Renowitz. Ball on the ground at midfield, ground ball for Gardner. Gets it back for the Wildcats. Under 2 minutes now to play. Gardner passes to Berry. And this ball ends up in the back of the net. There's a whistle, though. Not sure this is going to be counted.
Hillman is again on one knee after this one. I don't know what's going on. Her back is to us.
The shot came in, and it was knocked down by someone. Not sure if it was an offensive or a defensive player, but ended up trickling into the back of the net, and now the referees will call for the trainer out to have a look at Hillman. It does not look as though that goal is going to be counted.
This is actually Milton's trainer coming out to look at Hillman as everyone's slowly coming across, now running over to other ends of the field.
I think that may actually be a Brookline trainer despite the red shirt. But Coach Carrie Gross also out to have a look at Hillman.
Right near the end of this game too, 1:33. And Hillman was slow to get up after that last play. She sacrificed her body on the rush shot. She gave her all to block Rush's good opportunity. And it looked like she was away from the play on this one, but she's still pretty hurt.
Back to her feet now and able to walk off the field. So you see all the players drop their sticks on the field for this injury timeout, so they will resume playing right where they were in the same position when the whistle was blown. 13-4 is the score. Milton on top of Brookline with 1:33 to go.
It's kind of bizarre for when Hillman got up that no one clapped or anything, because used to that at sporting events, whenever anybody's injured, when they get up, there's usually applause from both sides, but now play will pretty much resume as if nothing happened.
So possession is given to Brookline as McPhee starts with it, is fouled and gets to restart. And now the Warriors across midfield. Julia Santos passing forward offline. Backing it up is Mackenzie Stanley, who picks it up before going out of bounds, but now a whistle and possession is going to be awarded to the Warriors. It looks like maybe she did step out of bounds, and now Mackenzie Stanley's caught outside of her net. So she's going to have to quickly try and get back there. The Warriors will try to put something in, and the pass is picked off by Ware.
That's been the story of the second half. Whenever Brookline gets possession, they lose it within the first few passes because all the passes have been sailing high over their intended receivers.
1:03 on the clock. Another whistle, and it'll be a turnover. The Warriors get the ball back. Pass up to Santos. Santos headed in towards goal. He's got several defenders to beat, and the ball ends up trickling on the ground to Stanley. There's a whistle here, and I think that Santos may get a free position. No, instead she'll get a restart from the near side. Kind of odd since she was on the other side. Out in front, shot, and a goal. Ellie Aspaw converts off the pass from Julia Santos, and the Warriors put another one on the board with 43 seconds left. Milton's lead is now 13-5.
And actually that interesting reset worked well for Brookline. It was very interesting that they had Santos reset on the opposite side from where she had possession. But it worked because she was able to get the clean pass off, and Alspa was able to bounce it in past Stanley.
Hannah Friedman-Bell will come in to take this draw control for the Warriors. Aspa, a freshman, scoring there. One of two freshmen who scores, Abby Renowitz, also got a goal back in the first half. So a couple of rookies getting on the board for the Warriors today, as Milton trying to get another one off the post. The shot from Marathas, and picking up the ground ball is Rivera. Now back to McPhee, as there's 15 seconds to go in this one. Warriors trying for one last rush up the field. Pass goes forward to Aspa. Looks like she may have stepped out of bounds, as ball's going to be turned over to Milton with 5 seconds left. Long pass up on the ground. Game over. Final score from Downs Field. The Milton Wildcats defeat the Brookline Warriors by a score of 13-5. So the Milton Wildcats pick up their first win of the season. They improve their record to 1-10 overall, 1-8 in Bay State Conference play. Olivia Phelan leading the way for Milton with 5 goals. And Nick, the Warriors kept it close early on throughout the first half, but in the second half, Milton just proved to be too much.
Oh yeah, Brookline managed to score 3 goals, and it was actually that 5th goal that they allowed right before the half that was kind of the backbreaker, because after that, they weren't able to close the gap and tie the game back up. For Brookline, the problem was not being able to control draws right afterwards, and they were passing high over their intended receivers. They weren't able to maintain possession early on, and despite this being Milton's first win, it looked like they should have had many more this season.
The Warriors, despite a hat trick, 3 goals from Ann Cabot, they fall to 1-11-1 overall this season, and no wins, 9 losses, 1 tie in Bay State Conference play. So that'll do it for us here today. Once again, the final score, the Milton Wildcats defeat the Brookline Warriors by a score of 13-5. For our entire BATV crew, Charles Henneberry and Sandy Orenstein, he's Nick Bovey. I'm Brad Kasnet. So long from Downs Field.